Well, hello there, naughty boys and girls. It is I, Disasterina! Welcome to the Tasty Earbits podcast. Here, we are all about the drag, the art, the trash, and the comedy. Last year's very scary stories were so terrifying and horrendous, it drove you to the madhouse. Luckily, our government was too cheap and corrupt to keep you in there for long. So now that you're out on your own recognizance, I thought we might do it again. That's right. I've assembled a new evil compendium full of bone-chilling tales for you. And to start off the tumultuous tales is Andrew Dahlquist with a horrific holiday hymn. Happy Hallowhen, naughty boys and girls.
Was All Hallows Eve, and all through the house the creatures were feasting, especially the mouse. The entrails were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that the slender man would feed on them there. But the children were screaming, all scared in their beds, while visions of murder danced in their heads. And Mama with her revolver, and I in my cap, had just blown out our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang up from the dead to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a ghost, tore open the glass to spy on our host. The moon on the breasts of the new fallen whore gave a luster of midday to bodies noir, when what to my wondering eyes did rouse but the slender man who lives in my house. With a big old knife so lively and thick, I knew in a moment he must be so quick. More rapid than arachnids, his demons they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. O devils, now Satan, now Lucifer and Leviathan, on Asmodeus, on Beelzebub, Amen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, beneath the skin we go, beneath it all. As leaves that before the wild hellhounds fly, when they meet with an obstacle, bleed into the sky. So up to the housetop, the devils they flew, with a mouthful of teeth and the slender man too. And then in a scratching I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each devil hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney the slender man came with a bound. He was dressed in all black robes were all tarnished with blood and soot. A bundle of flesh he had flung on his back. 'Twas the skin of his victims that made up his pack. His eyes, how they terrorized. His nose was partially missing. Just a big open wound in which blood came a-pissing. His droll little mouth was cut up like torn meat, and the pus on his chin was as white as a sheet. The bone of a victim he held tight in his teeth, and the thorns had encircled his head like a wreath. He had a slender face with rotten skin that slithered when he laughed like a graveyard of undead kin. He was dripping and cold, a right devilish old host, and I screamed when I saw him even though I was a ghost. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had everything to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, devoured the entrails, then turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside his disheveled nose, and giving a nod toward my family he chose. He carved our throats, and to his team gave a whistle. Beneath our skin they flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, there he crawled through me like a mouse. I'm the man who lives in your house.
Pretty creepy, huh? Go follow, if you dare, Andrew Dahlquist on Instagram at Andrew Dahlquist. One word. And now for the most exquisitely horrendous. I already use horrendous. Let me check the source here. Ghastly. Oh, okay. Ghastly is pretty good. The most ghastly story of celebrity. Well, all stories about celebrity, pretty ghastly and scary. But this one is through the roof. Chadka with celebrity abduction story. Ah!
Welcome back to Celebrity Abductions. Real stories, real celebrities. Our first one comes from the archives, 1930s.
Hello, the name's Gay West. So there I was, on a ship. I was floating in naked, like some kind of pale turd floating in the ocean. I couldn't move, and I was surrounded by skinny, gray, big-eyed men. You'd think I was on some kind of funny business X-rated version of Robinson Crusoe. So I told them, now listen here, you little googly-eyed twink. You better let me go home before I suck your tiny little Vienna sausage so hard I'm gonna give you astigmatism. So they started rotating me and pumping me with hot jelly like I was some kind of cheddarwurst on a Coney Island rollie. I felt my inside sloshing around like a plate of my mother's undercooked lasagna. Then, all of a sudden, I'm just shooting jelly out of the old whimpering eye, and I am just covering these poor little creatures in my discharge. To be honest with you, I felt like Dorothy Gale, all these dwarves screaming at me. Then all of a sudden, I'm at home.
Up next, we have an early aughts viral sensation whose name has been scrubbed for protection.
First of all, I would like to say thank you for having me on your show. Okay, I guess I'll get to it. Okay, so I was in my jacuzzi, which is actually just a human-sized toilet bowl, but as you can see, it's very stressful to be so small, so my back needed a little bit of bubbles. So I was in my toilet, and I was just about to get out, then all of a sudden, I was being sucked down the drain, and there were other beings in there with me, down this drain. They were so foreign to me. I tried to talk to them, but they wouldn't talk back to me, and I was like, well, that's rude. That's rude. Don't you have any manners? These things, they kept changing shape. First they were olive, and then they were ochre, and then they were flat. It was then that I realized that I was in the presence of shape-shifting aliens, and you have to imagine that these creatures were much larger than I, so I was naturally terrified, but then I had an overwhelming sense of peace. We started swirling around each other and dancing. You know, it really made me believe in the expansive universe of the cosmos.
Follow Chadka on TikTok at It's Chadka. ITSCHADKA. It's Chadka. And now a short break for an important message.
Hi, this is Sparkleboard the Mushroom Gnome. You are listening to the Tasty Earbits podcast. Help support our endeavor by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/GhostLetsOnFire. One word. I'm Snorkelboard the Mushroom Gnome. The Mushroom Gnome, the Mushroom Gnome, the Mushroom Gnome, the Mushroom... Sparkleboard the Mushroom Gnome, the Mushroom Gnome, the Mushroom...
Is it an evil black cat that has crossed my path? Or is it Nana, the cat lady? Oh!
Happy Halloween, everybody! My name is Nana the Cat Lady, and this is my Halloween song. Come to my house. It's a haunted cat house. Very scary house. But you're gonna hiss like a cat. Who's petting you? Petting you, I'm petting didn't even know how many days I hadn't eaten. Wandering around West 11th and Harvard Boulevard in Koreatown, I saw this old Victorian house that I've never noticed before. The door was slightly opened, so I entered. It looked like nobody was home, but I couldn't help this feeling that somebody was right behind me, trying to pet me. I turned around, but nobody was behind me. All I could see was nothing but the old random furnitures. I kept searching the house, hoping to find something to eat. All of a sudden, I heard this very familiar sound from the kitchen. The sound of opening a can of wet food. I ran to the kitchen and I saw a food dish full of cat food. I had my doubts, but I didn't care. I devoured it. Though, I still had this weird feeling that somebody was right behind me. And this feeling was growing bigger and bigger and getting closer to me. So I stopped eating and turned around. To this day, nobody knows what happened to that starving cat. All you see in that Victorian house is a cucumber on the kitchen floor. Who's petting you? I'm petting you. Who's petting you? I'm petting you.
Follow Nana the Cat Lady if you dare at NANA_the Cat Lady on the Instagrams. Or go to the YouTube channel and see other wonderful videos. Nana the Cat Lady video channel on YouTube. And now for the sleaziest reading of a murdering captain tale you will ever hear is Herculsleaze.
Hello all, Herculsleaze here, delighted to tell you a classic folk tale. It was popularized by Charles Dickens, who published his version of it, but it dates back far before that. It was first told to him by his nursemaid. So forgive the very obvious title. I'm about to read to you Captain Murderer. Once upon a time, there was a gentleman named, yes, Captain Murderer. He was a diabolical character, but he was also very handsome and very rich. Those are good qualities in this world. Despite his suspicious name, he was invited to all the best parties, admitted to all the best social events, and considered the most eligible bachelor in the area. Captain Murderer had an eye for the ladies and wanted to find himself a wife. Nothing made him drool like the sight of a tender young bride decked out in her white wedding gown. Over the years, he married quite a few young brides who had caught his fancy. He rode around town in a coach drawn by 6 horses. All of his horses were milk white, and they all had one red spot on their backs. What nobody knew was that each red spot was a drop of blood from one of his young brides. On the morning of his latest wedding, he placed a wreath of curious flowers on the head of the young girl he was about to marry. "Captain Murderer," said his pretty young bride, "I never saw flowers like these before. What are they called?" "They're called garnish," he replied, laughing at his own joke and displaying a row of sharp teeth. When the wedding reception was over and all the guests had gone home, Captain Murderer was finally alone with his young bride. He took out a rolling pin and a wooden board and asked the young lady if she would make a pie crust. The bride turned up her lace silk sleeves and began to roll out the dough. The captain brought an enormous silver pie dish and laid it on the table. Then all the rest of the ingredients, but one was missing: the meat. The lovely young bride looked around and said, "Captain Murderer, what kind of pie is this meant to be?" "Well, a meat pie, of course." "But, Captain, I don't see any meat." The captain smiled and said, "I do. Look in the mirror." She looked in the mirror, but she couldn't see anything but the captain behind her, roaring with laughter. "Roll out the pie crust," he growled. So the bride rolled up her sleeves and lined the dish with it. She cut the crust just to fit to the top of the brim, and then the captain took out his sword. "What is the sword for?" "To cut up the meat." "But where's the meat?" "I see it in the mirror." You really would have thought she would have clued in by this point. The bride looked up in the mirror just in time to see the captain swinging the sword and cutting off her head. He chopped her into pieces, salted her, peppered her, and put her in the pie. Then he sent it off to the baker's where it was cooked, and when it came back, he ate it all up and picked his teeth with her bones. Captain Murderer went on like this, marrying a succession of naive young girls and prospering exceedingly. Then one day he came across 2 twin sisters. One of them had blonde hair and the other brown hair. At first he didn't know which one to choose because they were both equally beautiful. However, the blonde twin fell for him head over heels, and the dark twin was suspicious of him. So it's a given he went for the blonde. The dark twin would have prevented the marriage if she could, but she couldn't talk her stupid sister out of it. One night before the wedding, she snuck out and made her way to Captain Murderer's house. She climbed over the garden wall and looked in through his window through a chink in the shutter. She saw him having his teeth filed by the local blacksmith into sharp little points. She even overheard him making a joke about flowers and garnish. She was appalled. The next day, Captain Murderer and the blonde twin were married. He took her home, had her roll out a pie crust, and then he cut her pretty head off. He chopped her into pieces, salted and peppered her, and put her into the pie and sent it off to the baker's, had it cooked, ate it all up, and picked his teeth with her bones. Now the dark twin had grown even more suspicious. Warranted. When she had put it all together, she decided that her sister must be dead. She was so sure of the truth that she was determined to have her revenge. So she went to Captain Murderer's house, knocked on the door, and pulled the bell. And when the captain came to the door, she said, "Captain Murderer, please marry me next. I've always loved you, and I was so jealous of my dear sister." The captain took this as a compliment and made a polite marriage proposal. The girl accepted, and the wedding was quickly arranged. One night, before she was to be married, the dark-haired bride snuck out again and made her way to the captain's house. She climbed over the garden wall and peeked in through the window, and again she saw his teeth being filed by the local blacksmith. When she saw this, the girl let out such a terrible laugh that the captain heard it through the chink in the shutter, and he let out a curdling scream. "I hope nothing I've eaten has disagreed with me," he exclaimed. At that she laughed again, and still a more terrible laugh. The captain rushed to the window, opened the shutter, but by then the girl was gone. She had run away into the night. The next day, they went to the church in a coach drawn by 6 white horses. They were married. When the Captain Murderer brought her home, he told her to roll out a pie crust, and when she was done, can you believe it? He cut off her head. He chopped her into pieces, salted and peppered her, put her in the pie, sent it to the baker's, had it cooked, ate it all, and then he picked his teeth with her bones. But before the dark-haired girl began to roll out the pie dough, she had taken a deadly poison. The most awful poison she could find, distilled from, yes, toad's eyes, and yes, spider's knees. Gasp. When the Captain Murderer had finished picking his teeth with her bones, his belly began to swell, and his face began to turn blue. Spots and boils burst out of his face, and he began to scream. He went on swelling and turning more and more blue, and the spots and boils kept bursting from his face, and he kept screaming until his body was so bloated and distorted that he reached from the floor to the ceiling, from wall to wall. Then at 1 o'clock in the morning, he clawed into the air with both hands, let out a long howl, groan, and blew up with a loud explosion. At the sound of it, all the milk-white horses in the stables broke loose from their halters and went mad. They galloped through Captain Murderer's house and trampled over everybody in their way, including the baker and including the blacksmith, until each and every one of them were dead. And then they galloped into the night. And that is the story of Captain Murderer and all the nameless brides that he ate.
Follow Herculsleaze if you dare on Instagram at HERCUSLEAZE Herculsleaze. Do it if you dare. And now for some more very important commercial messages.
From Out TV.
Do you need release?
Buckle up, baby girl. The fun's about to begin.
This here is Crazy Town, and you're the mayor of it.
Why does the party always end up in the kitchen?
I'm here to probe your black hole.
Eat your heart out, bitch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's get some July.
I had my heart set on a pizza, though.
Fresh as fuck.
Brace yourself.
What is this thing?
It's a party up in here.
Don't be sorry, be better.
I'm still the baddest demon around. I'm a sexy yin-yang, motherfucker.
Feels like the real thing.
Then freaking me the fuck out!
Let's spray this bitch.
Let the fisting begin.
Psychiatrist.
6 exciting episodes now available at outtv.com, or just go to sadopsychiatrist.com for a direct link. Also available on the Out TV Apple TV channel. Sign up now, the first week is free. And also available on demand in the UK and Ireland via the Fruit TV, that's FROOT.TV channel. Use the code Disasterina for a free month.
Mitchell Daub here for Cold Sluts on Fire. No more waiting. The Dr. Sadhu enamel pin is here. Put it on your business suit, fedora, or your straitjacket. Let your friends and enemies know you ally yourself with the wicked and the perverted. Free domestic shipping from coldslutsonfire.com.
And now for a very creepy and suspenseful tale by Ave Rose called Deep Down In, from the book Will Not R.I.P, available through the Marvels in Motion Museum website. That's marvelsinmotion, one word.com.
Where are you going, Mommy? Straightforward isn't the only way, but that's what you're thinking, isn't it? Stop. Look around. Scary, isn't it? The path is long, dark, very long. Does the ceiling seem to be just above your head? The ceiling is smooth, gray, it stretches. It looks gray, but it's white. There just isn't enough light. You can tell that it's smooth, though, smooth and cold, like the walls. You see the walls, Anise. Yes, smooth and cold. Is it rust seeping through those cracks, or shadows? What is it about the wall? Turn your head, Mama. Why does it seem so close to your face? Look again, to the other side. Another wall just beyond your cheek. Enclosed, but only on each side. There's still what is before you and what is behind. You're trying to swallow hard, but it won't go down. The breathing, it's very loud, quick, fast breaths, and very loud. Oh, don't close your eyes. Keep them wide open. They seem to retreat into their sockets. The bones of your skull poke up against your skin. Your skin seems so pale and thin on your face. Is there no flesh beneath? Such a taut little mouth. You're sucking inside, sucking on your tongue, your cheeks, and everything is puckered shut. It's fine, Mother. Don't say a word. You're about to take another step. I said stay still. I see. Go ahead, then. And another follows, very slowly. Shall I play some cello in the back? Your favorite instrument? You always hoped I would grow up to play. Oh, I'll play it all right. Let it intensify each step. Think about each one. I see you look down at your foot as you slowly lift and replace it before you. Your short black hair, it covers your face when you look down, Anise. Down at each foot you use to proceed. Looking down doesn't help. You pretend to think when you do that. Pretending to be thoughtful, as if you're considering other options like there were any other options. Elizabeth was supposed to be your closest friend, back before I was born. She told you about boys, about those boys. That boy, Jimmy. He was a bad, bad one. You looked down when she told you all about it and him, the seduction, manipulation, humiliation. Her dress was torn. Her panties were ripped. No one believed her. But what did you think? Did you feel bad for her? Did you believe her? Sure you did. You believed and visualized every word of it. All you were thinking, hair and face, was yummy. Those stories were so amusing. Jimmy, even pleasurable. Jimmy, you wanted it, sought it out, and you got it worse than any of them. Oh, the suffering. Was the moment at least amusing, if not yummy? Huh, Mummy? Oh, you continued through the hall. Where is that light coming from? Creeping in to guide you? It's a room. You see the door and you wonder what's beyond it. I'll tell you, Anise, Annie, Anne. It's just a room. So stop. Turn back. Good. The room, Mama. You don't want to go in there. 4 green walls, dark green, hardwood floor, dirty. There's a small desk straight across from the door against the wall. Black metal top with a single drawer, silver metal legs, barely supporting. A swiveled stool with a black leather cushion, worn and beat up. Atop the desk sits a typewriter, old and dusty, black metal squared with smooth edges. Heavy little circular pedal keys, difficult to push keys. A scroll that blisters the palms to crank. Above and to the right is a clock, painted on the wall. A round cuckoo clock. No cuckoo, though. Just brown painted against green. A triangle roof sitting on a circle. A circle with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 2 hands. Minutes and hours, no seconds. Simple arrows. And a ticking sound. Or does it come from the tapping of keys? Or the single light bulb hanging from a fat chain with a skinny chain switch? The bulb flickers and buzzes. Does it tick too? Is that where it's coming from? The light hanging just above the swivel stool? The light you start walking towards again? Why walk faster? Your shoulders sway when you walk that way. Sharp, bony shoulders underneath your tight black turtleneck. Tight jeans. Uncomfortable, aren't you? Black boots against the scratchy carpet. Each step you take smears the carpet with dirt from the bottom of those boots. A rub against the brush. A rub of a cold rod against your back. Remember that, Mother? Mommy dearest, you went on stage for a beating. Your friends told you not to go to that place, especially not alone. But you knew that's where Mike would be. He used to take you there. Red wine, broken statues, foggy fountains, haunting music. He loved the stage. You'd cuddle and watch as water was thrown into eager amateur faces, wax stripped down breasts of middleweight submissives, and giant feathers pierced the forearms of professionals. Swore you'd never go up there, didn't you? Only the pathetic or the professionals did it for show, right? Well, you were no professional, even though he taught you so much at home. And you loved his spankings. You never really spanked me, Mummy. I should have spanked you. Ah, Mike. Mike was so fond of you in the beginning, or so you believe. Maybe he was. If so, it was only the beginning. You hoped he would be watching the stage, so you marched those boots right up and volunteered to be beaten. The man who restrained you told you to lift your right foot if he got too rough. He would start out gentle and then progress until you gave him the sign to stop. Such a nice master. Maybe that is why he had those huge skeletal angel-type wings tattooed on his sweaty, swollen shoulder muscles. You saw Mike in the audience. He was watching. You felt that whip slightly pat, then roughly slap until it sharply stung. Till you faced away from the crowd, you saw him in the corner of your eye smiling. It was hurting, throbbing. Your eyes watered. You would not lift your foot. The man asked if you're okay. You were shivering. Heaven knows why you nodded. Then came the rod. And there was applause, and you wanted to die. And Mike was gone, and Mike never called, and you felt dirty. Not naughty. Disgusting. My poor, poor Mommy. You never lifted your foot, but you do so now. And you're getting closer to the room. Let me repeat, Mother, you don't want to go in there. It's loud in there. Yes, louder than your heaving. There's that awful typewriter sitting there, heavy on the desk, not knowing what to do or knowing but waiting. You can't take that kind of anxiety, knowing but waiting. And that clock, that cartoon on the wall, what time is it? But it's just a painting. But it shows that time has passed. How though? Nothing has changed. What time is it? Oh, but it's just a painting, and you know that time has passed. Still, you walk farther along. Are the walls closing in? Does the floor squeak beneath the carpet? Beneath your boots? Why do I giggle? Don't look so shocked, Mama. You know I'm concerned. I don't laugh because I enjoy your suffering. Don't look so confused. I laugh because I'm amazed by your determination. You seem to want to reach the end of this corridor. You think you know what you want. Ah, you look behind you and you sigh. That's good. Take a good look. Stop concentrating on the light for a moment. It's dark behind you. I know. Your baby knows this, the darkness. But that's nothing to be afraid of. That's a path you know. It's a path you already took, only moments ago, so you won't get lost. Yes, the routine. The family routine. Mother and father were users, serious users. You saw what it did to them. It was their secret. But everyone knew. Didn't they? Burned glass tubes, 3 a.m. ruckus. Of course everyone knew. Why didn't anyone say anything? You never said anything. Those were scary days. Then elder sister followed. You saw her shrink into her marrow. She was so tall and brittle, afraid of the world. So tidy, so paranoid. She was very organized and edgy and nervous, chattery. She wouldn't even drink coffee, told you it was bad for your body. But she almost overdosed. And only you knew. You should have said something. Never said a word, did ya? You swore you'd never be like that. Not to follow. Tried to end the cycle right there. Oh, you were so damn proud of yourself for being clean. The routine was still there, though. And you watched as younger sister fell in. Or was it you who gave her the little shove? She grew into it. So chubby, so tired. She was slow and sloppy and aloof, quiet. You know she hated herself. Did you reassure her, or did you let it reassure her? At least she lost the weight. Sometimes, every other time. That was a good thing, right? Not the weight fluctuation, but the fact that it was obvious she wasn't using all the time. You hoped she'd grow out of it. Was that what teenagers did those days? No one knew but you. You should have said something. You could have saved her. You could have saved them. And where are they now? What happened to them all? And where am I? What happened to me? Are you proud of yourself? How clean are you now? Do you want to cry? You look like you want to cry. Oh, don't start walking again. Fine. As you come closer, you'll hear what's ahead. I'll let it pierce the drums in your ears, tear and rip at the nerves in your temples, just like I pulled and writhed through your room. Go on! Tick, 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 tick. Told you. There was a ticking, didn't I? But it's so loud. Is it a tick? Or is it a tap, tap, tap? You take a step, tap. You take another step, tap. Why do you tiptoe? Tiptoes are still steps. Tiptoe, tick, tick. You recall the buzz from the light bulb hanging above the swivel stool. Buzz. You still there, isn't it? It's still there. It didn't vanish, and now you hear it. Buzz, tick, step, tap, buzz, tick, step, tap. You're almost there, niece. You're almost there. You can still turn back. Reverse those steps. Let the pressure ease down into the balls of your feet, away from your toes and to your heels, until you're ready to turn around. The cello still plays, and I will make each note bum, bum, bum with each step, step, step you take. Bow across strings, bum, bum, tick, tap, tick, buzz the door. Don't do it! Don't do it, Mommy! And you step in. You see the typewriter sitting heavy on the desk, the stool in front of it, the cuckoo clock in the wall's green and dirty, and the light you wanted is flickering, and the floor is cold beneath your boots. How is it that you feel the floor is cold beneath your boots? Mother, you're not wearing boots. Slam! Did you hear it slam? Quick, turn around. Silence. I stopped the cello. It's too late. Oh, poor thing. It's too late. Silence was what you thought you wanted, but now you realize you don't like it. There's no door behind you now, is there? There's just another green, dirty wall. So close it barely touches the tip of your nose. You're enclosed. Turn around, dear one. Turn around. No? You want to remain standing there with your face to the wall? But what's that? Ticking, ticking, very soft ticking. So soft I have to whisper. Can you still hear me, Anise? Your eyes wander, aching to know where that sound is coming from. The gentle ticking and the tapping. You hear it, don't you? And the buzz. Look above you, right above you, right above your head at the bulb hanging from the fat chain. That's the buzz you hear. Did you notice you're now seated? Turn around, Mom. Swivel in that chair you're seated in. Yes, the tapping. That tapping is you. Look down, Mommy. Look what you are typing. And in the typewriter, it says, there is no door, there is no hall, and there is no you. Me, Mommy, Anise.
Follow Ave Rose on Instagram at AVEROSE13. A story for you called, a very scary story called Death Dancer Demon. With her undulating body glistening with sparkles and jewels, she stepped out of the very Milky Way galaxy itself. With her 4 long, languorous, sexy legs, all on her toes, prancing and dancing like a super demon freak. She was feeling wild, so she started looking for a euphoric gathering of creatures from this place. The bigger the party, the better. She knew there would be death lurking there. She would be able to see it in their bodies under the strobing lights. She would be able to feel it in the electricity and taste it in the sweat that flung about like a cloud of plasma. Her forearms were outstretched, waving in a dance and creating strobing waves of static in the electric air. She would feel the beat very deeply, the vibrations building in her leading toward ecstasy. She didn't need pharmaceuticals like the Earthlings did to reach ecstasy, only the experience of shared biorhythms. She would notice the entrainment of many people's hearts to the music itself and to each other's heartbeats, and then gradually match hers as she would get closer. It was a convergence that was visual for her. She could perceive the creatures in multiple ways, though they could not reciprocate. They were not able to be present in her optical wavelength. She felt she was an invisible mother of sorts, though she had no memory of ever being a true mother. No memories of giving birth, or having sex, or even herself being born, or childhood, or anything like that. But she saw herself through reflection and could guess that there must have been a complicated formation to her. Maybe someone or something could tell her that story one day. The place where her eyes must have originally been now featured sparkly black goo dripping down her face. In the center of the dead sockets, long, thickly threaded wires were stretching out and up to the sky. Coiled within the wire were the original eyeballs, held up like periscopes far above her body. The wires were draped with bright flags to celebrate and to beckon. They whipped in the wind and flapped wildly in the dance. They tickled and cut people's faces if they got too close. Pink was the color of the flags, pink like the slimy flesh that was encased inside of the creature's skins. She knew the flesh was pink because she could see inside their bodies. She could see inside everything. She just needed to concentrate and manipulate her focus so all that was hidden became illuminated layer by layer. She could see in ways that the earth creatures could not, like when she saw patterns in microorganisms swirling inside human intestines. They glowed like disco slime worms on a geometric lattice. She could dance forever. It was so intoxicating and fun. And when she worked herself up into a trance of sorts, she was able to see in another way. She would catch lucid glimpses that were deadly premonitions. She was presented with impossible knowledge in the form of fluorescent, three-dimensional, transparent visions overlaying her already all-encompassing perception. She saw who was to die tonight. From an overdose or a car crash, she could see who would be snatched away and murdered, who would be shot, and she could see who would succumb much later to a deadly disease that would be transmitted this night. And she was attracted to these doomed creatures. She followed them, and when, at the moment of their death, she would plunge her arms into its body and let the glowing, squirming, swirling, seething biorhythms interact with her. It was a symphony of spectral envelopment, so intoxicating, so compelling, and time would slow down, and she could taste this tumult, so delicious it was. From time to time, she heard the humans and other creatures on other worlds talking about their gods and demons. There was a few she was fascinated with. Maybe she would meet them one day. In particular, Kali seemed like she would be fascinating to talk to. Maybe she could pick the mind of this death expert. Maybe she could dance with her all night long, underneath the ever-arching Milky Way. Music for the podcast by Dr. Stevo. Go to drstevo.com, doctorsteevo.com. Additional music by Art Bertik Marquez, spelled ARTBERTIK Find them on the Bandcamp, on the SoundCloud, or on Spotify. Download some of their music, why won't you? Interesting and evil scary fact. Art is the writer of my most famous song, Treat Me Like Trash. And that is why I love Art Bertik Marquez so much. I would like to personally thank our fantastic Patreon supporters. You are the ones who are keeping this podcast growing and going. Love you. Joseph Reish, Jeffrey Gallant, Indra Lowenstein, Amy Marsh, Oliver J., Jeremy McNabb, Keith Ferguson, Annalyn Bond, Rollerblaze, Sassy C, Silvana Ahmed, Tom, Ali, Carrie Wolf, Eric Peterson, John Get Bent, Renee Redanius, Melissa Sarah, Nikini Kill, Julia Levine, Rhea, Seaman Law, Spencer Montoya, Story Nigel, and Katrina Miller. Thank you so much, and remember, Patreon supporters, if you have any questions for the magical Disasterina Queen herself, just go ahead and send me a message to Patreon, and I will answer your question on the air on the podcast. Special perks for you. You want to be as wonderful as those people? Well, then go to Patreon, I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, .com/Cold Sluts on Fire. One word, give us plenty of your greenbacks. We need it.